Lights flicker low in the living room glow. Kim Bowers running, but she never gets far. Captured again in a ticking clock show. Ropes on her wrist, silver tape cross her jaw. Day after day, season after season, duct tape tight, no rhyme, no reason. Hollywood's favorite girl in the chair, scream for the camera, but nobody cares. Close-ups on struggle, muffled cries in the night. Breath fog in the tape, eyes wide with fright. Damsel in distress, duct tape on her lips. Struggle is so sweet for the cinematic fix. Ghost face loves the way the adhesive sticks. Marky Mark's got Amy Gag, Peterson just sits and kicks. Margot gasping hard, tape pulling tight. Can't catch your breath under Hollywood lights. Tied up, tape down, frame after frame. We watch them squirm, it's all part of the game. That twisted romance. Wahlberg's hand steady, no second chance. Amy's ass pleading while the tension builds higher. William Peterson silent, feeding the fire. One more scream queen wrapped up like a gift. Ghost facing the shadows with his favorite script. Tape rope spinning, another victim bound. Muffled confessions never make a sound. Breath getting shallow, cheeks pressed so tight. The camera keeps rolling through the long dark night. Damsel in distress, duct tape on her lips. Struggling so sweet for the cinematic fix. Ghost face loves the way the adhesive sticks. Marky Mark's got Amy Gag, Peterson just sits and kicks. Margot gasping hard, tape pulling tight. Can't catch your breath under Hollywood lights. Tied up, tape down, frame after frame. We watch them squirm, it's all part of the game. Every thriller needs a heroine in chains. Every horror flick with those desperate refrains. Silver strips shining under flickering scenes. The more they fight it, the louder we scream. Yeah, we can't look away. Beauty in the director's grip. Ghost face is laughing while the credits start to roll. Kim keeps getting taken, losing all control. Margot's last breath caught on celluloid. Amy's muffled fear in that suburban void. Taped and forgotten till the next episode. We hit replay and the story reloads. Black, but the tape keeps spinning. Damsel in distress, always beginning again.
Yeah. 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 Oh boy. We are live on YouTube. Oh boy. Corey, what's up, man? Action Com. I see we've got 6 in the box. Okay. So thanks again to Addison Ivory, Miss AI, for the amazing intro song. Oh my goodness, I love it. I very lazily did not add everything on here that I should have. But yeah, if you saw, obviously, when you go back to our singers, or if not singers, are the first movie actresses that we did. Let me see here. Where are our results? I need to load up the community poll results. just so we can see exactly what happened here with the film actresses. I have some, this is very interesting. Okay, so the finals, oh, Corey, you're off work. That's cool, man. I hope you didn't schedule it around me. If you're doing that from now on, I'm gonna have to know. Definitely don't flake. Don't flake on the stream. People are gonna call off work for me. Yeah, so the finals of the first round of film actresses, this was quite interesting. We had this. This was after 38 votes. After 38 votes, we had a tie, right? Which was interesting. Very, very close. And then Kate Beckinsale was winning after 43 votes. We were bouncing back and forth. It was like, oh wow, this is this is a close. This could go either way, right? As these were the two that I knew were going to be in the finals the whole time. I kind of had a feeling, and then it ended like this. This is how it ended, right? How do you go from bouncing around back and forth, tied with a very close battle, to then, where you had people essentially split the first 50 votes, and then the next 50 votes come in, and one person basically gets all of them, right? Which that's kind of bizarre, considering that fans of this typically kind of think the same. Right. So if the first 50 votes were pretty split, the second 50 should kind of have been as well. They shouldn't have all went to one person. So I'm a little bit, listen, I'm not saying that it's illegitimate. However, I am a little bit skeptical about these results. So what I have done, this is just a little announcement. Obviously, I get to some other announcements as well. I kind of did this a little bit in the prior stream where I mentioned about the e-commerce store we're opening up with merchandise for the first time, and a lot of other cool stuff. Our digital products will be on there. Corey's off Monday and Thursday. That's pretty cool. I will keep that in mind since you're one of our best streaming supporters. ActionCom is excited. That is good. We've got some people in the box here waiting for some more people to come. I'm gonna make a post here on the channel. We'll give it a few minutes here to get people in. Yeah, let me get this. Posting this to get some more people in here. Let me see. So, yeah, one thing that we're going to be doing, we are no longer going to be running the polls on YouTube. You know how you put the poll up and then people... Instead, I am going to be putting a link to a poll from pollmaker.com, right? And the reason why we're going to be doing this is because I don't want... people, let me see. Yeah, I don't want people to be able to see the results. Basically, I don't want people to know who's winning while they're voting. I don't think that people need to see that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the link to the poll in here, and you guys can open that up and just kind of do a test run. You'll see you don't need to sign up. You don't need to have a pollmaker.com account to vote. But this is just a little test. If you guys want to open that up and select something here, just so we can see how easy it is to use this. I think it's pretty easy. Seems easy enough. Yeah. So that's kind of how we're gonna do the polls from now on. I'm gonna put the link as a post. right? And then you guys can go off and vote, and you won't see who's winning until it's over. So we're not going to have any bandwagon voters, right? That should be a setting on community polls. I think you should be able to have an expiration date and set the end time. Well, that's the same thing. I mean, you should be able to set the end time of the poll and hide the results, right? So nobody can see until it's over. So you can't have any bandwagon voters, right? Where people are just like, oh, I want to vote for the winning side, and then they just change it. Like, I feel like we've had some pretty like skewed results, right? Some pretty like kind of where once someone starts winning, everyone else just kind of piles on. And it's not really like a legitimate, right? Not a really legitimate result. So we're going to see if we can make some modification of that. Wasn't this the plot of an episode of CSI? Explain that. I'm not sure what that means. Let me see. A victim's going to live or die to the whims of a poll. It ends with a bunch of votes coming in to go ahead with the crime. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've seen it. That sounds, there's a lot of like webcam live stream crime stuff like that. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. That sounds about right for an episode of CSI. Sounds a lot like that movie with Diane. Was it Diane Lane? You know what? She probably needs to go on my movie list, doesn't she? Diane Lane never got the duct tape gag back in the day. I'm gonna throw her on the list. Diane Lane. She was in The Outsiders when she was young, right? Yeah. Hi, the crime scene. Ninja Turtle, how you doing? I didn't really vote on the winning side. I voted no. I think she get the treatment like you have to imagine which one. Well, right. That's the whole idea. But, I think once the votes start coming in and once it appears as though somebody is going to win, I think some people change their votes. I think they, just pile on to whoever's winning. I think it happens a lot. So we're gonna host the polls off the platform. I see a vote came in. We have one vote here from the link in there. How was it? Whoever it was that placed the vote, was it easy enough to do? I'm assuming you don't have to, didn't have to sign up for anything, didn't have to do anything, just kind of. And I could add pictures. I could add pictures on those polls as well. It's pretty easy. I just didn't do it for that test one, but it will have the same pictures. It'll be a detailed poll. It'll be on there in the same way as it has been in the past. Just you're not going to be able. Yes, I think it's easier to vote that way. Well, it's going to be, the pollmaker.com. It's going to have hidden results, like I said. And I'm assuming that whoever voted, you could not see, the results after. I had checked that box on the settings. So that's the whole thing. I don't want people to know who's winning while they're voting. I think it's the bandwagon effect, and it creates pretty unreliable results, I think. Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, I got to delete these. I'm going to delete these extra tier maker rows. We don't need those. I got the tier maker all set up. So this is round 2 of film actresses. Now that we got a few more people in here. This is basically what I did is you guys voted. Remember, I put the poll up, what you guys wanted to see next. Did you want to see more film actresses or TV actresses? Or there were a couple other options there as well. And you guys once again picked film. So yeah, I took my remaining list of film actresses, and there are quite a few. And I just typed them into Grok and asked it to spit back 16 of them to me at random. And it did. And 2 of them I actually swapped out because there was too much A-list star power in the 16 that it gave me. There's just too many of them. So I had to swap a couple of favorites out to be used for a later stream. But yeah, I think we've got a really nice balance of film actresses in this one, and some of which are, yes, sir, star power. There was too much. There's too much star power in the 16 that I came up with. Let me see here. I gotta pull. I gotta go grab the blurred images. Right, we got the blurred images for this stream. Yeah, let me see. It's a blur. Yeah, I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna move these over here. Remember, I gotta one at a time set these up, but it's pretty much a pain in the ass. Here's the blur, the thumbnail. I'm gonna load up the thumbnail. This is a thumbnail for this stream, and you can see we've got a couple of blurred out actresses there who I had asked you guys to tell me who they were. And let me see. Ugh, what are we doing here? Yeah, I had this. I'll just show the image that I posted on the community post, right? And I asked everybody, 50% Corey is here. Corey, would you like to tell the audience who these two lovely ladies are? One was, as I gave the clues, the it girl of the mid-90s, and then the it girl of the mid-2000s. Corey, would you like to tell everyone who these two are? It was easy. I'll be honest. I thought it was easy. Especially with the clues that I gave, I feel like it had to be very easy. Should have been. Corey, I'm waiting on you to tell everybody who these two are. You're slacking. You're slacking off, Corey. This is your moment to shine. This is it. Alicia Silverstone and Rachel McAdams. It's okay. We know he means McAdams. We know. And Corey is right. It is Alicia Silverstone and Rachel McAdams. He is correct. Those were the two that were on here, which means those two will be featured tonight, obviously. Sorry, typo. You're good, man. I got you. And, it's very funny because you're a slacker. You two will be flying a cargo plate full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. Wrong movie. So, yeah. Oh, shit. I got sidetracked. It's funny. Whenever I generate these images with the masked man behind the people, typically it seems to like to produce Joe Rogan in a ski mask. Like, I could show you several examples where the masked man it produces clearly Joe Rogan underneath the mask. I am pretty sure this right here, I'm pretty sure that's Channing Tatum underneath that mask. I am like 90% sure, which is interesting because he was in the Val with Rachel McAdams. I don't know if it like saw her and was like, oh, okay, we'll put Channing Tatum under this mask. But I'm pretty sure that's him. Pretty sure that's his eyes and his face under there, which is interesting that it picks like a celebrity and puts him under a mask. But it's interesting. It's finally done picking Joe Rogan. I don't know why the fuck it keeps putting Joe Rogan in a ski mask and generating images with it, but it clearly does. Like, it's pretty obvious. But anyway, so yeah, Corey, you guessed it this time. I think I went a little too easy on you. Maybe I didn't blur their faces enough, or maybe the clues I gave were a little too easy. So I think next time I'm gonna be a little tougher on everybody. And so, as far as these two go, 1 second here. The blur. Sorry, I got to delete some images. Can only have so many images up here at the same time. We're gonna run into problems. I knew Alicia Silver was one of them, but the other one was kind of hard because of my original guess. Oh yeah, you said did you say Amy Adams or Amy the other Amy that looks like Amy Adams, the one that was in The Office. Yeah, I don't have. You know what? I don't have either one of those two on my Dream Damsels list. And I liked Amy Adams a lot. I think it was Amy Adams in Sharp Objects, the HBO miniseries. But I wouldn't put either one of them, on my list. I just wouldn't. Nothing against them, but there's a lot on the list. Jenna Fisher and Amy Adams, I get confused. They look a lot alike in a lot of ways. I like Jenna Fisher in the Michael Douglas movie Solitary Man. She played his daughter in that. That's a good one. I could probably put the girl from Solitary Man on the Dream Damsels list as well. Maybe. For the most part, I have this list. I haven't built out the pro wrestling part of it yet. I got some of them written down. I mean, there's going to be, a lot on there. We all know the pro wrestling women. But for the most part, all the other stuff, I think I still have a couple hundred names written down, right? Even after this third stream tonight, I still got that many more. There's a lot, right? And as I mentioned in the community post, Alicia Silverstone and Rachel McAdams do have full treatment scenes. They each had one, right? Alicia Silverstone in the Excess Baggage movie from 97, where she handcuffs herself and then wraps clear tape around her mouth and puts herself in a trunk. That's hardly a real scene. I did do I remember when we did the Excess Baggage, because I did a recap of that one too, probably because I'm such a fan of Alicia Silverstone. It's probably why I did that. Let me see here. Let me get DeviantArt. I have something saved with Alicia Silverstone. But yes, remember I put this image. You guys remember this image from the KK episode? Right? I put this in the video how I would have done it, where I kind of put the gag on her there when she's cuffed to the post later in the movie. They could have done that in Excess Baggage. Obviously, they didn't. I probably should have considered making a newer photo with that, with the photo upgraded. That scene in general isn't that good. And I had mentioned how she does get held up at gunpoint in Clueless, right? And they could have done something with that, although that's not the typical kind of movie for a scene like this. But yeah, and Rachel McAdams, she was strung up with her hands overhead and cleave gagged in the one Sherlock Holmes movie. I want to say in 2012. I want to say maybe it was the second Sherlock Holmes movie. So both of them have had full treatment scenes, just not the ideal, duct tape gag scene. They just haven't had them. So they're eligible, right? The only people ineligible for this, and I guess I should go through the rules again. There's always kind of run through that. Basically, because we're doing the actual actresses, because the actresses are the theme here, the actress is eligible unless she has done a full treatment duct tape gag scene in the past, right? So, Jessica Alba, Alicia Cuthbert, Amy Brenneman, these people are excluded. All the people in the logo, right? All the people in our SSB logo. Maybe I should pull that sucker up real quick just so everyone knows what I'm talking about. Where you at? Where's the logo? Where is it? There it is. This transparent logo here, I'll just pop it up. It's going to pop her up. This right here, right? All of these women, Brenneman, Gizem Koya, what's her name? Gizem Karaja, the Turkish babe up there, the Miss Turkey, Stacey Hogg, Alicia Brenneman. These people are ineligible. Right? Even Jessica Alba there in the middle, even though she's not gagged there, she's ineligible, right? These are ineligible people if we're talking about actresses, because they got the real thing. They got the real deal. But if we were doing characters, now at some point we're going to do like different TV characters. I had it up as an option, the teen family drama characters, movies and TV shows. That's an option. Horror characters, right? If it's a character, then they are eligible unless the character got the scene, right? So that would mean that like Jessica Alba and Jessica Biel, that would mean they would be back in play for those if it's a certain character from a show. But because we're doing actresses and not characters, they've had a scene, they're ineligible. So what do we have here? That's an idea right there. Jenna Fisher and Amy Adams that you mentioned in the last live event, like those two can be in different. Well, I mean, yeah, those two aren't on my Dream Damsel list. Maybe I could understand for some people they might be. I don't think I would put them 6 hours. The Internet Poll episode is 6 hours. Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. Even though, wow, really on Walker? Because Walker ended like right around the time everybody started having internet access. So didn't Walker end like 2000 or 2001? That's right around the time that like everybody at their house started getting internet. So, well, maybe if it's a later seasonal, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a Walker thing to do, but just based off, that show is primarily in the 90s, I guess I wouldn't have thought they would have got to that, kind of like how Seinfeld ended before there were like online dating apps, right? If Seinfeld would have been around when there was online dating, I'm sure they could have had, quite a lot of fun with that. Late episode, late season, yeah, that makes sense. So are you guys ready to meet the 16 chosen ones for tonight? And I still don't understand how ChatGPT is producing these photos. I'm not asking for these outfits at all. It's just kind of pumping them out. I don't get it. This isn't my doing. I'm not asking for this. Walker show having late night ended in 2001. Correct. Bring on the 16. Okay, so we're going to start off here. Obviously, you already know two of them, right? You already know two. And they would be the some of the highlights, if you will, of this stream. We could start with the lovely, amazing Rachel McAdams here, who obviously in the mid 2000s, Mean Girls, The Notebook. She had that great hand gag scene in that Wes Craven movie Red Eye that came out, I want to say in 2005 or 2006, the one with what's his name? Cillian Murphy, like smothers her mouth with his hand. Yeah, that movie was a missed op there because that was her like in her prime, and it was like a horror type thing. I think it was on an airplane, but yeah. So obviously, she is a front runner to win this next round of voting. We could say that. And we obviously talked about the other person on the stage, Alicia Silverstone, who, for anybody who was around in the 90s, knows that this is yeah, and her career is very interesting. She stepped away from Hollywood on her own voluntarily in the late 90s. And it's amazing because, and I looked this up. Here's the interesting thing. Alicia Silverstone is not even 2 years older than Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams is less than 2 years younger than Alicia Silverstone. Yet Alicia was huge from like 1993 to 1998, like during that time. And nobody knew who Rachel McAdams was really until 2004. Like Alicia was barely an adult acting in any of this stuff. Like no one really knew who she was, or excuse me, nobody knew who Rachel McAdams was at this time. She was barely acting. But Alicia was on top of the world and then voluntarily left because of, I guess, the stresses of being a young star and a lot of stuff she went through. She was in those Aerosmith videos in 1994 after she duct taped Amber Benson in The Crush. Remember, we had her featured on here from the movie The Crush with Amber Benson. Remember when she's got her tied up in the attic on the carousel and she's got the wraparound duct tape gag that Alicia gave her? So she delivered the treatment, didn't receive it in that film. I think she was I think it was the Good Girls Gone Bad theme that we did many years ago. Yes, the Batman and Robin film did not help her because it was such a terrible film. However, she was pretty much the only, well, obviously Arnold, watching Arnold and whatnot is, quite entertaining. But Alicia was pretty much the only shining point of that film, the only real reason to watch it. I remember finding out she was going to be Batgirl back then, and it was like, wow, okay, I need to see this just for that, right? And then, yeah, it's crazy to think that from 2000 to 2020, she basically did nothing. She's recently had a few more acting roles. She was in that shark movie that I meant to watch that was on Hulu. Requiem, something like that. It was 2021. Some her and her husband are stranded on one of those little dock houses with a shark. I did mean to watch that, but I know she was trying to get a Clueless TV series started that Peacock canceled recently, and that is very disappointing. I think she's still trying to get another. Going on here? There we go. Am I fixed now? Fixed, hopefully. Yeah, it had a little glitch there out of my hands. Yeah, so we've got McAdams and Silverstone. Obviously, these are front runners to win. And then we have, and it's funny. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, on Facebook, I saw a page. It just put up a post, and it said, the post said, "Your first celebrity crush, go." Right. And so I'm looking through it, and obviously, just like Corey said here, right? Where's he at? Here he goes. Amy Jo Johnson on this list. No, Amy Jo Johnson is not on this list, primarily because she is not really a film actress. She's done films, obviously, but people know her for television. So she's one that I've got, obviously, on the TV show, television actresses list. But on this celebrity crush thing I saw yesterday, a lot of people, right? Amy Jo Johnson, Pink Power Ranger, Kelly Kapowski, Topanga, right? The typical ones. I just gave you some obvious ones that are coming on the TV actresses and TV characters. You guys probably knew those would be there. But I was surprised at just how many people on this Facebook post, when asked about their celebrity crush, their first crush, just how many people, and I know ActionCom is going to understand completely, just how many people were writing on there Elizabeth Shue. A lot. I was very stunned. And Elizabeth Shue is kind of to the mid 80s in a lot of way what Alicia Silverstone was to the mid 90s, except Shue continued to act out of the 80s. She still acts today. She's been acting for decades, and she still looks great, and everyone still loves her. She's amazing. But 1980s Elizabeth Shue hits a little bit different than anything else. Yeah, let's get some other photos on here. I made some custom things. I think Elizabeth Shue was at her hottest in Cocktail, the Tom Cruise movie. It's one of my favorite movies. That's 88. Obviously, she was in, there you go. He asked for it. Get a picture from Cocktail. I already had it up there, bud. Already had it ready to go. you know, she was obviously in the Karate Kid, Adventures in Babysitting, not the one we made, the other one, where it was kind of where I got the name from. Obviously, everyone knows her, from Adventures in Babysitting. That's kind of like probably her biggest thing from the 80s, I would say. But then obviously Cocktail as well. I'm not sure what else she was in the 80s, but probably a few other things. Then, like I said, her career didn't stop. Um, I think there was probably a point where it was a little bit slower, but she had the late 90s. She was in The Saint with Val Kilmer. I still have never seen that. I have it recorded. I hear that one's pretty good. But Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon, that's one of my the new that new Death Wish movie. Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon, that's one of my favorite horror-ish, like horror adjacent type action sci-fi films. And she's great in that as well. But that's not 80s Elizabeth Shue. 80s Elizabeth Shue is a different animal completely. I mean, this is going to be very hard for me to do this ranking, I have to say. But I'm gonna see what I can do. Okay, number 4. I just kind of started with the big guns there. I mean, those are the 3. Yeah. So I'm just gonna like random pick now, right? Random pick. We'll go with a newer actress. Some of you probably know. She was in the Twisters movie, Daisy Edgar Jones. And I say this with respect. She's a very, very cute girl, beautiful girl, obviously. This woman kind of reminds me of if somebody tried to draw Anne Hathaway from memory, but instead it came out looking like Laura Dern. That is so mean. But seriously, think about it. Think about what I just said. Somebody tried to draw Anne Hathaway from memory, but it came out looking like Laura Dern. Think about it. You can't say I'm wrong. You can't say I'm wrong. Back to oh, yes. Hey, Showtime like it. Yeah. How could I forget she was the replacement? Oh, what the fuck's her name? Don't tell me. She was the replacement. Michael J. Fox's replacement girl, Elizabeth Shue in the 80s. And, people will say, like, the original actress's name was Claudia something that played. What the fuck's her name in Back to the Future? Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer. Duh. Doc, what about Jennifer? Yeah, the original actress that played Jennifer became like a fashion designer or something that owns a store in LA. She quit acting. I think that might have been why she didn't come back, because it was 4 years later when they made the second one. Claudia something. I don't think I put her on my list at all. But yeah, Elizabeth Claudia Wells, yes. Elizabeth Shue replaced her. And people will say like that just because they do that. Well, the original, gotta have the original. Yeah, Elizabeth Shue is better than Claudia Wells. Get the fuck out of here. So that's a huge upgrade. That's a huge upgrade. Obviously, they didn't really use her very much in either one of those films. She was kind of obviously with Marty leaving and going through time, she wasn't really used all too much. But yeah, I can't believe I forgot that they put her in Back to the Future. She didn't want to be exposed to Crispin Glover. well, there's that whole thing. Crispin Glover didn't even come back for the second film. Didn't he sue? That said she was kind of cut off their way. Yeah. Jennifer was never really used very much in any of those films. I did not put, I didn't put Leah Thompson on my list because she technically has that goofy scene in that Caroline in the City show, which I have recorded. Then, I probably should put a young Leah Thompson on the list because that Caroline in the City came out way later. I'm going to put her in movies because of what the fuck? What did we do here? Yeah, I'm gonna put her in the movies, Leah Thompson, for when she was younger, and I should probably put Jennifer Grey on this list as well. They're both in, what is that, Red Dawn? Yeah, I should probably put both of those on there. Yeah, they used priests to put him back in the. Claudia Wells wasn't in and gone and came back in 2008. They had a guy replace Crispin Glover literally wore him as. Yeah, I thought so. But tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that Daisy Edgar Jones doesn't look like somebody tried to draw Anne Hathaway from memory and it came out looking like Laura Dern. I mean, that is the best best way I can. She still looks great. That's the best way I can describe her. Let me see. Okay, that's four. Let's go with. Oh, here's an interesting one. Okay. Oh, wait, gotta remove some picture. God damn it. Gotta remove some pictures again. We always end up with this. Okay. Poor Laura. Here is an interesting one. Somebody you guys may remember from the late 90s who I think she Yes, Laura Dern. Moving on. Yes, sorry, you crumb. I didn't know you were in here the whole time. You know what? I'm gonna throw some background music on here. I hadn't been doing that much. I probably should have. How's the music volume? Let me know. And I was gonna add a sound here too. Yeah, this is for you. Put a low. Well, I don't want it to be loud that it like goes over everything. Poor Laura. Put a one in the chat if Topsy looks like Joe Rogan. Hey, listen to this.
I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
Yeah.
Put that on camera. You're a creep. Get away from me. You're a crumb creep.
There it is. That's for you. That's for you, Jamie Lycan Theory. Jamie Lycan Theory. He's a crumb creep. He's a crumb creep coward. Oh, boy. Let me see. What do we got? Okay. You're a lush. I can smell it. Yeah, I meant to get more of that. I'm going to have to get more clips of that broken up so I can play them. Here's one from the late 90s you may have forgotten about. I recently saw her in one of those Harlan Coben miniseries at the beginning of the year. Minnie Driver. Remember her? She was in that John Cusack movie, and I think she was in Good Will Hunting. Wasn't she the girl that Matt Damon liked in Good Will Hunting? Yeah, Minnie Driver never had a scene as far as I know. She's a British actress, so she probably... there you go. Good Will Hunting, British girlfriend. Yes. She still looks good. She was in that Harlan Coben miniseries. I can't even remember it. I can't remember what it was called. It was a British one, too. That's why she was in it. Also in the show with the comedian guy. Yeah, I'm not sure what else she was in outside of a few things in the late 90s. Girl in the Tarzan Disney movie. Okay. That I did not know. The Riches. Oh, that's the TV show. Okay. She just survived a car accident. What's the name of that Harlan Coben show? Runaway. That was it. Runaway. Oh, I know her from that romantic movie with Duchovny, with Fox Mulder from the X-Files, Return to Me. Yeah, she plays the girl that got his dead wife's heart. That was the reason why David Duchovny left the X-Files in the late 90s, because he wanted to make movies. That's why they wrote his character off the show, and he kept coming back because he wanted to do movies. And Return to Me with Minnie Driver was one of the movies that he did. I forgot about that. She's in Goldeneye. It's interesting you bring that up. Wait, is she a Bond girl? Is Minnie Driver a Bond girl? How did that work out, David? Well, we got Evolution. That movie's funny as fuck. Evolution. I do have Julianne Moore on the list written down. I didn't. Sarah Silverman is in Evolution, and she was really hot back then. You know what? I might consider adding Sarah Silverman to this. Possibly. Yeah, Evolution. That was she was in South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Was Minnie Driver in Goldeneye? Is she a Bond girl? You know, it's funny we bring that up because I have on this list, I don't think we covered any Bond girls in the last stream, but I have a handful of Bond girls on this, and they weren't put on, only a few of them were put on there for that purpose because I knew them from a James Bond film, but a lot of yeah, she's not. I didn't think so. See, now the music's louder. I'm going to turn it down a little now. There we go. Picks up. It depends which part of the song. Bond girls could be their own. You know what? That's true. Bond girls could be. How about Girl from Buffy the Vampire? Well, this is. Are you referring to SMG or Eliza Dushku or Amber? Well, Amber Benson's the one Silverstone gagged in The Crush. Willow, Allison Hannigan, the band girl. Band Geek actually gets duct tape gagged in Buffy. We're talking about Michelle Trachtenberg because technically she gets it as well, but you can't see it, right? Trachtenberg gets gagged in that same episode with Hannigan, but you can't see it. So music got louder because you got more. But yeah, no, this music, the volume changes in this song depending on which part of the song. The older sister. Well, that would be Buffy. You're talking about SMG? Don't you worry. She's on this list, but not on the film actresses, just because I don't want people in multiple categories unless like it's a character, right? As far as the actresses go, I'm trying to separate them between film and TV and picking like what they're most prominently known for. Yeah, Halle Berry's on the list. That's another Bond. That's what I mean. That's another Bond girl that I didn't put on the list because they're a Bond girl, but there's a ton of them actually that I have on here. In fact, there's only 2 women I put on here that were put on specifically for being Bond girls, and that's Shirley Eaton, who you're going to see in the KK Olympics with a detective gag scene, but also Claudine Auger, who was in Thunderball. Those are the only 2 specific Bond girls I put on here that I don't know from something else, but there's a shit ton of them anyway. Let me see. Moving on. Here's an interesting one. We did Anne Hathaway last time, right? Who played Catwoman. Well, we've got the other Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. So another Selena Kyle, who I don't think is going to do as well in this as the other Selena Kyle. Anne Hathaway was quite dominant in her tournament of 16. I don't think Michelle Pfeiffer is going to have the same success, but yeah, she was very attractive in Batman Returns, and obviously she does have a full treatment scene. She has a detective gag scene in that what is that show? There's some movie from like 1980. Charlie, what is it, like Charlie Wan and something? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? DID fans here. It's like Charlie, it's something. She gets a white detective gag in some movie from like 1980. I have it saved. Like I could get it, maybe run it someday. It's a young Michelle Pfeiffer. It's a pretty good scene, actually. It's not bad. But yeah, moving along. He wrote it twice. I get it. You're looking for me to move on. Here's an interesting one. Someone probably wouldn't think of. Rosario Dawson. This is a picture of her from the movie He Got Game from 1998, the Ray Allen basketball movie. Yeah, she's been around a long time, and she's only in like her late 40s now, and this is from like almost 30 years ago. She started acting pretty young. We always choose the ones we are familiar with. Well, of course, at least with the rankings, you know, that's Charisma Carpenter, and Eliza Dushku. Yeah, I had mentioned her, but yeah, Charisma Carpenter got the cleave gag scene in Angel, Yeah, Charlie Chan and the Curse of the Dragon Queen. Correct. That is it. Yeah, that scene's not bad. I think I have that saved. But yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, as far as I know, never got the duct tape gag. But her sister in real life, Dee Dee Pfeiffer, does in season 3 of Big Sky, the Big Sky finale, which you guys may see in the KK alternate Olympic, those handful of. Dawson had a few scenes, full treatment duct tape gag scenes. That can't be right. Please tell me that's not right, because if it is, I'm going to have to kick her off the list. I got to look this up real quick. See, I didn't bother to do this because I figured I would know, but I might not know. Oh, are you kidding me? Rosario Dawson has shown tape gag, hands on her leg. Really? 31. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. You know what? That is still a lot later. What the? Rosario. Oh. This is disheartening here. I'm going to have to look this up. I want to see the images. Show me an image of this. There it is. Is that a real cleave gag scene? But you know what? She isn't young. She's not. It's not 90s. You know what? I'm not pulling. I'm not retracting this. No. I just heard the Price is Right fail alarm. Yeah, I need to. You mean the Family Feud fail alarm? You mean this? You mean that? I needed that on here for me. Well, you know what? I'm not retracting this. I'm not doing it because her duct tape gag scene wasn't until like 2015, which is like almost 20 years after this photo. She's fallen into the Sandra Hess category of making the rare exception, right? There's a few other people I'm going to do that with as well. But yeah, she didn't get one in the 90s. Sorry, K my ass. Sorry, my ass. I'm not backing down off of it. This is staying on here because it was the wrong time. Let me see. Let's see. Who do we got next? Here's an interesting one. If you're talking Arnold movies, remember Vanessa Williams or Rosario Dawson retains their crown. That's right. That's right. Let me see. If we're talking Arnold stuff, which we mentioned Arnold before, Sharon Stone, who has a cleave gag scene we covered on the show, but we're talking like 9 Total Recall Sharon Stone. Let's face it, Sydney, your mother was no Sharon Stone. Right? That's for you, Jamie Lycan Theory, if you're still in here. Yeah, this not like late 80s, early 90s Sharon Stone, different. That's high level right there for sure. Let me remove some of these images. Let's see. What are we at? We're up to 8. Let's see. Here's an interesting one that I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of her movies. I've always liked her. A lot of people who are a fan of 80s and 90s movies will know this woman. Not something anyone ever talks about as a heartthrob. However, I will say on that Facebook post that I saw yesterday where people were talking about their first crushes, I did see this woman's name mentioned at least once. Mary Stuart Masterson. I'm sure people know her movies, whether it's Some Kind of Wonderful, At Close Range, Fried Green Tomatoes, Benny and June, Bed of Roses. She was a huge name from the mid 80s through the mid 90s. And then her career just kind of, I think she was Stabler's psychiatrist in SVU, maybe for a little while. She's in the original Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And that's actually one of the reasons I wanted to watch that movie, because I wanted to see her after all these years. It had been so long, but she is in some of my favorite movies from the 90s and 80s, honestly. Oh, which movies are you talking about? The Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah, she's in the first one. She gets killed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was okay. Obviously, she's not young anymore. Played a different. Oh, are you talking about the other films that she's in? Well, to each their own. I mean, I can see that. Benny and June is not really a chicky movie. That's the one with Johnny Depp and what's his name, Aidan Quinn. A lot of famous people in that one. Dan Hedaya. A lot of CCH Pounder. There's a lot of people in Benny and June. She plays a woman. She plays a young woman in Benny and June that has some I don't know if she's autistic or something. She's got some definitely she's got some issues, and yeah, she does a really good job in it though. So yeah, this is one that, yeah, and somebody wrote on that Facebook post, they put her as their first crush, and I saw it. I was like, nice work, sir. Let me see. Here's another interesting one. Let me see. What do we got here? Okay. Speaking of, what did I mention? What were we talking about? No, wrong person. We already had Rachel McAdams on here, but what about the woman who played Rachel McAdams' mom in The Notebook, who was also in Face Off, Joan Allen? See, this is a more Joan Allen. I don't really know of her prior to her being in her 40s. I think I found a picture of her younger, maybe from the 80s here, but she was very cute in Face Off. The Travolta, remember, she was Travolta's wife, and there was a real missed opportunity with her and the daughter, Dominique Swain. Those two definitely could have had some type of a scene together. This is a more obscure one. This is one of the ones that I swapped in for the two people I swapped out, the two A-listers I removed. I added Joan Allen into this one, and I thought it was interesting because she played Rachel McAdams' mother in The Notebook, and there's also going to be another mother-daughter character thing in this one. So we actually have two of those. Let me see. Action Com, you're missing our newest person. You're going to fall behind one again. Remember what happened in that Singer stream? It got all clustered up. Let me see. There we go. He's on it. Speaking of that mother-daughter combo, we're going to start off with the mother of the fictional character mother-daughter combo. Does anybody remember this actress right here? Probably not. Angeline Ball. Does anyone remember her? So I know her from an episode of Highlander. Okay. That's how I know Angeline Ball. She's an Irish actress. She's been in. I think she's still very active in acting. Probably One Mistake and It Haunts You. We'll never forget. We'll never forget it. Because it was the first one. It was the first stream, right? So we're not going to forget that tragic mistake. Angeline Ball. I know her from a Highlander episode. She's an Irish actress, which makes sense because in Highlander, whenever they were filming in Paris, they would always grab actual European actresses. You would never know it, though. She hides her accent completely in all of this. Anything that's supposed to be where she's supposed to be an American. Yeah, there we go. Number 11. He's got it here. Let me see. Now, also what I know Angeline Ball from, there we go, right here. Corey put it up. I know Angeline Ball because she played the mother of Veda Saltonfuss in My Girl 2 in the flashback VHS tapes. So we also have number 12, Anna Chlumsky, Veda herself from My Girl on here. Yeah, this for anyone who grew up in the 90s and knew the My Girl movies, anyone who was a younger kid during that time, Anna Chlumsky is probably, on your list at some point. And, she grew up just fine. She puts out a Christina Ricci vibe. Who, Angeline Ball? Or Anna Chlumsky, because Anna Chlumsky acted with Christina Ricci in that Gold Diggers movie. Oh, can't see without his glasses. You can't see without his glasses. Where does it put his glasses on? Oh, pull it my heartstrings, action com. Oh boy, who do you think is the Christina Ricci vibe? Angeline Ball or Anna Chlumsky? Yeah. So anyway, we got Maggie Moldavin and Veda Saltonfuss from the My Girl movies. Let me see, and that's 12. So we have 4 more. Let me see. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, you got Angeline Ball. Got it. Yeah, well, I can see why you said that from the picture. If you saw her, though, like, regularly, you wouldn't think she looked like Christina Ricci. I thought you had meant Anna Chlumsky at first just because they were in that Gold Diggers movie together. Here we go. Olivia Wilde. Now, this is her from the, like, early to mid 2000s when she had blonde hair. Like, she was a guest on the OC for several episodes when she was young. Yeah, Olivia Wilde definitely, over the last 20 years, probably on a lot of people's lists. I think she has a cleave gag scene in some movie. Her and somebody else. I looked it up, but as far as I know, this isn't a Rosario Dawson scenario. I can't believe that. I would have put her on it anyway, just because, we give a pass if it happened too late. Yes, I believe I knew of that. There's someone else somewhat fairly well known with her in that scene as well. She matured, but she still yes, she does still look good. Let me see. We got what? 3 more? 3 more. Who do we have? Oh, yes. I was talking about this woman with Jamie Lycan theory somewhat recently. Shannon Sossaman. If you remember, she was a huge deal for a few years, right? From like, she was a huge deal from like in the early to mid 2000s. She was in that 40 Days and 40 Nights movie with Josh Hartnett. She was in the Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. That James Van Der Beek movie that I was talking about, Lycan Theory with, that also has Jessica Biel in it. Shannon Sossaman was a huge deal for like 5 years. She was like one of the most talked about, hottest young actresses on the planet for a real short period of time. And as far as I know, she never got shit. She was, she was in one of those like jump scare horror film franchise, like the Conjuring or one of those other ones, Sinister. She's in one of those, maybe like 10 years ago. I feel like she might have had a cleave gag scene in one of them, maybe. I could be wrong about that, but she never got the sticky treatment back when it counted. 20 plus years ago. So she's on the list. Let me see. Let's add, we got two more. Who are they? Oh, okay. I understand it now. Anybody know what that is? Anyone know what that reference is? I understand it now. Nope, nobody does. Yeah. Another Bond girl, not selected because she's a Bond girl, Jane Seymour. Jane Seymour is interesting. Jane Seymour is one of those rare women who got more attractive as they got older. Like, I realized Jane Seymour obviously was very attractive in her 20s when she was in is it Live and Let Die? It's one of the Roger Moore James Bond movies. I think it's Live and Let Die. I could be wrong. Obviously she was very attractive if she's put in that movie. But something about her as she aged, just the aging process with her face made her look more attractive through the year. Like she got hotter into her 40s and into her 50s even than she was when she was younger. Yeah, she had that scene in Dr. Quinn. I have that saved. I'll probably run it someday. Hopefully someday down the road for classic TV. I do have that saved. Oh, she does. Oh, no. Oh, no, and another scene, but it was a tape. She does have, it's not a duct tape gag scene though. I mentioned this in the last stream, I believe. She is, it's a TV movie. I have it saved in high quality. I got it saved high quality after they finally put the movie on Amazon Prime. I can't remember the name of it. She gets a black tape gag while hooked up to a bomb, and it's actually Ari Myers. Wait, is it an OTM gag? Is it? Or is it a black tape? I can't remember. Yeah, for your if she's a that was what is that Jane Seymour scene that I have saved? I can't remember if it's an OTM gag or if it's black tape. I think it might be an OTM gag. You might be right. Yeah, it's actually Ari Myers who puts it on her. The woman that played the girl in Dutch that was in our last 16 actresses, Ari Myers, she's the one that gags Jane Seymour in that TV movie with the OTM gag. I mentioned that previously, so hopefully we will see that one. I recorded that one in top-notch, best quality you could find that thing in. Memories of Midnight, yes, that's the one with Ari Myers. I have that recorded. I did the recording myself from Amazon Prime a year or two ago when it first finally hit streaming, that TV movie. It was very hard to find that in good quality. That's a countdown scene with like a ticking time bomb next to her. It's very good. That's a great Jane Seymour scene. But yeah, obviously she never got the duct tape, but she should have. She would have been amazing. And again, Jane Seymour, one of those, I can only think of a handful of women that I can genuinely say, like, as they hit their 40s, started to look even more attractive. Jane Seymour is one of them. And the other one would be Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9 from Voyager. Star Trek fans obviously know who Jerry Ryan is. Jerry Ryan got better looking with age, as did Jane Seymour, like noticeably, which I don't know. That does not often happen. But I guess they're real unicorns. Let me see here. Oh, number 16. Here comes our final one for the night. Obviously, going back to the previous stream, we had Sonya on Sonya violence, right? We had Brigitte Wilson versus Sandra Hess. We've got a little more Mortal Kombat here. A little more Mortal Kombat action. Now, when I was a kid, mid-90s, this was one of my biggest crushes. Another Bond girl, Talisa Soto, Princess Katana from the first Mortal Kombat, both Mortal Kombat movies. Yes. Another Bond girl. She's from that Timothy Dalton movie, I think The Living Daylights. But again, I didn't select these based off of James Bond. I selected her from Mortal Kombat and Jane Seymour mainly from Dr. Quinn. But I mean, again, two more Bond girls in this. There's a lot of them. I've more of them on the list. Just I'm looking at my list right now. I see a handful of them all over the place. So, yeah, maybe that would be a good idea way down the road just to do the Bond girl characters. Because as far as I know, none of them got full treatment scenes. There is a Cleavegay scene in that Spectre movie. I know it's really short. I'm not sure who it is in that Spectre movie from 2012. But yeah, so there's number 16, Talissa Soto. That is it. It's very hard to find an image of this woman smiling. I've noticed. Not easy. I tried. Yeah, she's pretty much. I don't know. It's yeah, harder to find an image of Talissa Soto smiling. But yeah, there is the 16. Now I'm just gonna pop them up here together. I don't know where these outfits come from because I'm not asking for them. They just keep doing them. We have Talissa Soto, Shannon Sossaman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Rosario Dawson, right here. Number 2, Minnie Driver, Sharon Stone, Rachel McAdams, and Mary Stuart Masterson. Then we have Angeline Ball, Elizabeth Shue, Olivia Wilde, and Anna Chlumsky. And then Alicia Silverstone, Joan Allen, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Jane Seymour. So there you go. There's our 16. Now we have to rank them, right? We got to rank them. I got to put them into the tier maker and do my ranking. This is where it's fun. This is where we... Thank you for that little warning. Okay. Share. I found some pictures of Soto smiling. I have a couple. I have a few of them. But at least in Mortal Kombat, yeah, it was harder to find them. Let me see. And I do have some custom photos I've made, some things. I told you guys I made the announcement prior that we are planning on doing a new KK like side series called Fantasy Files, where I'm going to use some AI generated images and videos to propose a scenario from a film or kill the audio from this. Oh, did it do it again? Is it making the noise already? Was it already doing the fucking ads, the car commercials? Probably was. I killed it. I forgot I had put it on the screen. But yeah, I have it turned off on my end and on the StreamYard end, so we won't have any noise. Oh wait, no, I hadn't put it on the screen yet. I hadn't added it to the stage, so I'm sure you couldn't see anything. Thank you for the reminder, though. I have it off. Yeah, we're gonna do the Fantasy Files, and that will be, the Fantasy File. The Fantasy File will be interesting, just because I can, have a good scenario prepared. Either swap out an actress for an existing scene or come up with my own idea using them from the movies they were in or the TV shows they were in. And yeah, I've already kind of presented one here, an original idea that I'm going to show an image from. But so we're going to get to it here. So let me put the tier maker on the screen. Here we go. We have our, oh, wait a second. What's with the coloring? What's with the coloration? What are we doing here? Hold on. That's supposed to be red up top. And oh yes, the A-list is supposed to be red. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay, we're fixed. A-list, mid-card. Nice of this thing to dox me and tell everyone what state I live in. It's going to be hard to figure out what state I live in when there's a when we have a Sherrod Brown ad right on my tier maker. Again, I have no idea. It's hard to imagine what state I might be in if I'm getting hit with Sherrod Brown ads. This thing's a doxer. It's trying to dox. Tier maker's trying to dox me, right? Fuckers. Let me see here. So, how are we going to do this one? Programmer for the tier list is colorblind. No, I had set it up backwards. I made 2 of them pink instead of red. I wanted to keep the same setup we have had. Let me see here. Yeah. So, how do we do this? I think this is tough. I'm not going to lie. I think ranking these 16 is tougher than the last 16. I'm going to start off easy. I'm going to make it easier on myself to start. I'm going to have to put Joan Allen in the backup. Need a VP. Yeah, it is what it is. I've told everybody before, I think in general, where I'm at. I've mentioned it. We had a Kickstarter page once that had like a general location on it. I think I've told people. It's been talked about. It's not a huge deal. And only so many people. It's not like it's a small state, right? It's millions of people. So let me see. Yeah, so I had to start with Joan Allen in the backup. The colorist for the Star Trek animated series colorblind, which is why the spaceship looks weird. Started the original Star Trek animated series. Or are you talking about Lower Decks? I love Lower Decks. I need to finish it. Shame it ended. So yeah, Joan Allen's backup. I'm going to try and make it a little easier on myself to start. Just from basic popularity perspective and just who I would want to see in general. Yeah, I'd have to put Angeline Ball also in the backup. Joan Allen and Angeline Ball are these were the 2 alternates. I told you I swapped out 2 A-listers because it just gave too much star power. So I swapped out 2 A-listers to save for a later date, and I swapped in Joan Allen and Angeline Ball. So they're gonna have to go to the backup. The original. All right. What do you guys think? Who's going where on this tier maker? Where are you guys putting these people? Remember, we have 4 A-listers, 6 mid-card, and 6 backups. 4 A-list, 6 mid-card, 6 backup. And actually, Hum agrees with these 2. Yeah, I would say I'm going to try to rank from the back to the bottom to the top. That's how I think is probably the best way to do this. I was going to go, who do I think next for the backup? I think I would say Daisy Edgar Jones. Actually. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. Yeah, I think I would put Daisy Edgar Jones down to the backup. I think she goes third from the bottom at number 14. Yeah, and the reason why I'm going from bottom to the top here is because this is going to be somewhat challenging when we get to the top, right? When it came to the singers, remember I instantly said Hillary Duff's number 1, no doubt about it. I had no doubts. And then, I went with Kelsey Ballerini as number 2. And I know you guys are digging that short thumbnail, that newest YouTube short we put out with the Ballerini thumbnail. Yeah, so and I didn't even select that. That's the default frame. Just now, within the last 2 weeks, YouTube is finally allowing custom short thumbnails to be uploaded from desktop. Brand new feature. And they finally just synced them to the mobile shelves today, I think, or last night. Finally, I was waiting days. So now I can upload custom short thumbnails, but I didn't even need to for that Ballerini one, right? Because they picked it. And someone wrote in the comments, they were like, that thumbnail though. It's like, yes, that thumbnail is something. Uh, so yeah, it was easy to pick Hillary Duff. And then last stream, it was pretty easy for me to pick Kate Beckinsale as number one. I'm not going to lie. I had Anne Hathaway as number two. But for me, I didn't learn about Anne Hathaway until much later in the 2000s. She doesn't hold that kind of familiar special place with me that Kate Beckinsale does. So that's why she was number two. I was able to pick Hillary Duff and Kate Beckinsale pretty easily. I'm not going to be able to do that this time. This time, it's a little different. We've got some real competition here for that number one spot. Who comes in at number 13? Looking at this, if I had to pick somebody, you know what, just because of the fact, might be, some people might not like this pick. I'm going to go with Michelle Pfeiffer, actually, next in the backup. I'm putting Michelle Pfeiffer as number 13 there in the backup. Alicia is A tier. Yes, she is. Yes, that's where things are going to get very, very difficult pretty quickly, I would say. But yeah, I have Michelle Pfeiffer. We're getting close here to the end of the backup plan. If I was going to go next, as I look at this, I think I would say Minnie Driver next in the backup plan. She was very cute back in the day, but the competition here is stiff. We've got some stuff here where this is going to be a little more challenging. Let me see. What do you guys think? I'll go with Michelle. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've always found Michelle Pfeiffer attractive, obviously, but I would say, given this ridiculous. No, who's that in regards to Michelle? Mid card for Michelle. I don't think. I told you it would be controversial. Maybe I'll make adjustments later, but for right now, we're going to keep it as we have it. Or did you think Minnie Driver was mid card? Michelle or Minnie Driver? Minnie's innocent looks count for something. Well, they've got her fairly high on the backup plan. At least she's not at the end. She's close to the top of the backup plan. Who would I put next on this list? It's just the fact that she did get the duct tape egg scene later in her career. It's skewing my view, and I'm going to have to put Rosario Dawson at the top of the backup plan because of the fact that she did end up getting the scene later in her career. Or else I might have had her in the mid card, but I think I'm going to have to make the adjustment based off of that. I'm going to have to. So this is the backup plan. Joan Allen, Angeline Ball, Daisy Edgar-Jones, Michelle Pfeiffer, Minnie Driver, and Rosario Dawson. I think I'm happy with this for now. I think I'm happy with this. Now we're going to go to the mid card, right? And this is where things are going to get trickier in the mid card. What do you guys think? Yeah, Rosario got caught. Now is that stigma to keep her down? Well, I'm not gonna lie. I did play a little bit of a role there in influencing my decision. She may have ended up in the mid card had I not known that. It's possible. Back of the mid card. This is tough. This is really tough. We're only doing the mid card here, and this is fucking tough. Boy. Ooh. I mean, again, these aren't scrubs. You know, these aren't scrubs. They're all winners. And if we would, the whole point of this whole thing, I always talk about this. If we would have gotten a scene with any of these women, it would be something of note, right? Like, well, and again, we did get the one with Rosario Dawson, which I'm not familiar with. It's probably not very good, probably not very long from what I looked up. And again, it was years after, you know, her in her prime. So, but if we would have gotten a scene with any of these women, you know, when they're the way they are in these pictures, it would be something everyone would know. It would be, you know, very much talked about in the community. Everyone would have seen it. It'd be pretty well known, especially with some of them, right? Once we get up here into the mid card and the A list, if any of these remaining women here would have had a duct tape gag scene, everyone would know about it. There would be no escaping it. That being said, I'm going to start the mid card. I'm going to start it with Veda. I'm going to start it with Anna Chlumsky. All these actors. I could have been a damsel. I could have been somebody. Instead, I'm a bum. They're a crumb bum. They're a real crumb.
I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
They're
Put that
real
on
crumbs.
camera. You're a creep. Get away from me. You're a crumb creep.
Get away from me, you crumb creep coward. Get away, you crumb. Agree. Let me see. You know, yeah, so we started with the Veda, and next up, this is where it's tough. I guess next up we're gonna go with Shannon Sossaman. She doesn't mean that much to me. She's very cute back in the day. I mean, she caught everyone's attention for those handful of years. It was hard to escape her, but there's no real connection with me as far as films go, as opposed to the person I'm going to go with next, which would be Mary Stuart Masterson. Got to go with her next. Yeah, for me, like I said, she's in some of my favorite movies, and she's just an adorable woman. Mary Stuart mid-card, yes. For that 10-year period of time, she just has that certain energy about her. Like there's a reason why so many people fell in love with her in her movies for that 10-year period of time anyway. I mean, she was a huge name. She's also in that, I didn't even get a picture of it. She's one of the 4 girls in that Bad Girls movie. It was Andie MacDowell, a young Drew Barrymore, Mary Stuart Masterson, I think Madeline Stowe. Yeah, Mary Stuart Masterson is one of the 4 bad girls, which I've still never seen that movie, but that's the movie where like Drew Barrymore is really, really hot at. Like it's like 94. It's like a couple years even before Scream. Where that's like sort of the same time as like Wayne's World 2, I think, when she was in that. So Mary, agree, too wholesome for A-list. Yeah, she's not she doesn't have that kind of star power. McAdams mid-card. Soto mid-card. Okay, this is surprising. McAdams mid-card. So if you're saying McAdams is mid-card, Corey, who are you saying's A-list? Because remember, we get 4 of them. 4 of these remaining women have to go on A-list. If you're saying McAdams is mid-card, who's going A-list? That's an interesting thing you have to answer for, Corey. Let me see what we have here as far as these. I did not make any duct tape gag photos with any of the women that have been ranked thus far. I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I made a custom Sharon Stone photo from Total Recall. How about that? That's a good look. There could have been a way to do something like that with her in Total Recall. Actually, for the fantasy files, that's not a bad idea. Actually, remember Arnold does kind of capture her in a sense, and then she says, "Doug, you can tie me up," and she does that thing with her little dress thing. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a second. What did I just do here? Oh, what a dummy. I didn't rank Sharon Stone yet. I thought I did. I was putting, you know what? We'll come back to that. We'll come back. Yeah, it was a leotard. Right. My bad. So Corey's saying Jane Seymour, Olivia Wilde, Sharon Stone are A-list. Corey, you're not going to be happy with me. I don't think. Maybe you will. Next up on the list for me personally, I think I'd have to put Olivia Wilde next on the mid card. I don't have much of a connection to her with movies and stuff. There's not much I know her for other than from the OC. And again, she was just a guest. She was in a handful of episodes, played like a hot bartender that, what's his name? Adam Brody had a crush on. She actually ended up making out with Misha Barton in the show. It was like they did a little bisexual thing with Misha Barton and Olivia Wilde in the OC. I understand because of the Dawson. Wait, are you because of the Dawson? Are you saying because I told you about Rosario Dawson? Because you told me about Rosario Dawson, you think I'm taking Venus on? Sharon Stone was in an episode of TJ Hooker as really a backdoor pilot. Sharon Stone was in an episode of TJ Hooker as a cop. Backdoor pilot. Are you saying that didn't air? That they were going to put her in the show and didn't? You have to give me more information on this. But yeah, I'm putting Olivia Wilde here near the top of the mid card just because I don't have. Don't get me wrong, she could have been A-list depending on the competition. That's the thing. It depends on who the competition here. Olivia Wilde was in house. Yes, I do know that. I believe she played Gozer in the Ghostbusters movie from a few years ago. That they kept it under wraps and didn't even credit her. But Olivia Wilde was playing Gozer in that new Ghostbusters movie. And she did amazing as her. I'm pretty sure if you look that up, you'll find that it was her. Yeah. Let me see. Next I'm going Sharon Stone, who I thought was already on the damn list, right? When I put this up. This is a good look. And I'm going to give some credit to Grok, which is finally learning how to do duct tape gags, and they're doing them possibly better than ChatGPT is now. Like you can get ChatGPT to make those if you know how to do it right. And they were doing them really well for a while, but now it looks like Grok is starting to finally learn how to do this without making the tape go clear across her body. Yeah, it looks like it's finally getting this down. So this is Sharon Stone in Total Recall here, which they could have done something with for sure. She was a character in TJ Hooker's female cop. They're going to spin it off as its own show. She was Sharon. I'm going to look this up real quick. I'm going to very quickly look this up. Just I'm going to very quickly look it up. And it looks like both of you guys voted in the poll over on Pollmaker, and I'm sure. Let me know if voting on that poll on Pollmaker worked out easily. I feel like it was probably Sharon Stone, TJ Hooker. Oh, wow. Okay. So they were trying to do a spin-off with Sharon Stone. TJ Hooker, why the spin-off failed. Danny Starr. Oh, okay. Here we go. Is there an image of this? Okay, wait a second here. Is Sharon Stone... Okay, I'm going to load this image up. I just found this while looking up Sharon Stone and TJ Hooker. Sergeant TJ Hooker to Danny through his gag. Danny Starr, Gable's coming. Make yourself comfortable in there. I've got to stop him. TJ Hooker, more moving. What is this? What is this? This is from IMDb. Was Sharon Stone gagged in TJ Hooker? Also, what do we have here? Doesn't seem that way. Maybe she finds TJ Hooker, right? Yeah, her only scene is Cold Steel. So I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, Sharon Stone and a TJ Hooker spinoff. That could have been something interesting, for sure. Could have been interesting. Let's see here. I need to go back to the tier maker. Now this is where it's tough. Who's the last mid-carder? Look at this list. Look at this list. Look who's remaining. Look at these 5. How do you pick this? Sounds like a role reversal. The Shat has a gag and Sharon has to say that. Yeah. I've never seen. It's interesting because there's a lot of channels, obviously, that upload these scenes onto YouTube, but I've never seen, a TJ Hooker gag scene before. I didn't even know there was one. So I guess, yeah. I don't know. How many episodes is Sharon Stone in of TJ Hooker? I'll have to look that up when we're done. That's interesting to me. Yeah, so of these 5 remaining, who is A-list and who is mid-card? Oh, she's only in 1. Okay. That's disappointing. This is where it's tough. Because for the final mid-card spot, it is a toss-up between Talissa Soto and Jane Seymour. She's a Chicago cop and Hooker is picking up a prisoner. Yeah, they should have capitalized on that. They should have just made her and Locklear fucking team. Right? Is Locklear in the show then? What year was that? I gotta look this up real quick. What year is that episode that she's... Oh, it's a 1985 episode. Is that before? Oh, no, it's season 4. It's season 4. Yeah, I don't see any images here of the Shat gagged. But let me see. Yeah, Heather Locklear's in it. So they had Heather Locklear and Sharon Stone in that fucking show? Wow. They should have just got rid of Shatner and just had Heather Locklear and Sharon Stone in that show. My goodness. Okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna say that my 10-year-old self is gonna hate me here, but I'm gonna have to put Talissa Soto mid-card. I'm going to have to put Talissa Soto as mid-card. Which, that's Katana. That's, yeah. That is Katana. And I had to do it. Pull the trigger. I did. Which means that Jane Seymour is going A-list. But she's going to the back of the A-list. As much as I love Jane Seymour, and I did make a Jane Seymour photo, we've got a Jane Seymour photo. Here it is. This is a ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure. Yes. It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue against this. Yeah. It's hard to argue. Jane Seymour goes A-list at the back because this is where it's hard. This is where it gets tough. This is where the challenge is. The last three. The big three of this tournament. Rachel McAdams, Alicia Silverstone, and Elizabeth Shue. This is the single most difficult. I'm sorry, Mr. Bond. She's a little tied up right now. Yeah, it's amazing how many of these women featured in this stuff are Bond girls. Quite a lot. How do you do this? Rachel McAdams, Alicia Silverstone, and Elizabeth Shue. This is the toughest decision I've ever had to make on one of these streams, by far. Having, and I'll be honest, like remember in the last one, I picked Kate Beckinsale's number one and Anne Hathaway is a close second. I think that I would put all three of these women ahead of Anne Hathaway. I do. If Anne Hathaway was in this one, she would be going where Jane Seymour is. And these other three would be ahead of her. Which is kind of crazy, but yeah, these I don't need. How do you pick this? How do you pick between these three? Alicia can do it. Yeah, she can also do Great Villain, even when she was 15. Let me see. Okay, so maybe we should judge by this because I got photos made of all of them, right? Maybe we should try this on. ActionCom, I already gifted you. I gifted you this. That is very realistic looking and very good. So we have that. Then we have this. Obviously, this is a no-brainer. This is what we want. This is why I went to go see Batman and Robin in the theater, okay? I went to see Batman and Robin for this, and it didn't happen, obviously. It was 1997. I got done with school, went to the theater with my mom, and it was like, okay, Alicia Silverstone's in the Batgirl costume. It's going to happen, right? Surely it's going to happen. No, it didn't happen. That's not, the tape's not good enough on that one. I need to go with the other. Let me see. First one. The first one. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, that's better. Either this one or this one. We'll say this one. Yeah, that's why I went to see Batman and Robin. I went to see Batman and Robin for this. It didn't fucking happen, which shouldn't have surprised me. But, you know, could you imagine if this would have happened? I have to say, if there would have been a scene like this in Batman and Robin, the whole DID landscape would be changed. Like, everyone would know this. It would be like, it would be the equivalent of like Alicia Cuthbert in 24. It would be like fucking the Jessica Alba scenes. Like everyone would know this if this existed. Now, what about this? Let's say it's the 1940s. It's the 19th. Here we go. Action Com is saying number 1, Elizabeth Shue. Number 2, Alicia Silverstone. Number 3, Rachel McAdams. Let's say this. It's the 1940s. And Rachel McAdams is gagged with the newly invented post-World War II duct tape. It's the 40s. It's the Notebook. And then suddenly somebody owes somebody some money. And the mobsters show up. And the mobsters with the Tommy guns take Allie Hamilton hostage in the Notebook. It could have happened. They could have done it. Right? Duct tape was invented at that time in the film. It could have happened. This isn't an impossibility. In some alternate universe, in some alternate parallel DID universe, there was a Notebook movie where mobsters with Tommy guns snatched up Rachel McAdams, right? There was some point. It is fire. Yeah. Jesus. This is unfair and ridiculous. I don't even know how to pick this. This is going to be a great short, right? I'm breaking the fourth wall here. Hi to everyone watching this YouTube short. Yeah, this I don't even know, man. How do you even pick this? Good Lord. And how could this have happened in Cocktail? I don't know. Oh, you know how it could have happened in Cocktail? That bitch that Tom Cruise was dating in Cocktail, the one that found out about the one that was he wanted to give him a job, right? Maybe she snaps after he gets in that fight at that art gallery. Maybe she snaps and follows him and finds out he's got her pregnant, and then she takes her right back to her little high-rise apartment. Takes Jordan Mooney back there. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. This is ridiculous. This isn't even fair. This is the toughest choice I'm ever going to have to make. His choices are 1, 3, and 2. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Like if I had to say, like, just for the sake of everything, I have to go with my gut. I have to go with my gut on this. And I have to say, I'm going Elizabeth Shue next. I know you're going to hate me, Action Com, but I have to. I mean, you can't lose here, but at the same time, it is what it is. And then I think I'd have to go McAdams, which means, man, get up there. Which means Alicia Silverstone is number 1. I think I have to take Alicia Silverstone number 1. Whoops. Didn't have that up. Ugh. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna move them back out. I'm gonna move them out so that I can. Oh God, what are you doing? What is this? No, put them back down here. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm gonna put this back up and just do it like this. I'm gonna put Elizabeth Shue at number 3. I'm going to put Rachel McAdams at number 2, and then Alicia Silverstone goes to number 1 because I missed it on there. That's how I have to do it. That's how that has to be it. That's, yeah, I had to go with, yeah, I would have to put Alicia Silverstone as number 1 of all of these, Rachel McAdams at number 2, and Elizabeth Shue at number 3. But that is without question the hardest trio of choices I think that's ever going to be on here. I can't imagine there's ever going to be another time where I get something, a final three like that, where you could just pick any of them, and it just doesn't matter. They're all equal. But yeah, that's it. That's my final choices there. That's it. What did you guys think? Realize there's not a ton of people in the box here. Yeah, it was. This one was fun. His reaction is angry. I'm a paying member. You should have said, I'm a member here. How's my voice not being heard? Well, the good news is you're going to get to have your voice heard when it comes to voting. Like I mentioned, there's going to be the community posts with the options to vote, and you will not be able to see the results live until they're done. The tiers are good. I mean, I think obviously it's subjective, but I think this was a very difficult one. Oh, and just so you know who the two people that I had to swap out were, right? The order could be improved. The tiers are good. Oh, at least you think the tiers are good. Where'd Corey go? Corey disappeared. Yeah, the tiers, I mean, it's definitely subjective. I could have put Solicit Soto in the A list. I could have put Rachel McAdams or Elizabeth Shue as number one. I could have put Olivia Wilde in the A list, actually, or Sharon Stone. I mean, it's one of those where it's a toss up, just a toss up. The two people that I removed for the sake of removing star power were Salma Hayek and Megan Fox. Just so you know, yes, Megan Fox had that tiny little scene you can't even see shit in like 5 years ago. That doesn't count. Nobody's counting that tall switchgrass or whatever that movie is. We're not counting that. That doesn't count. Yeah, so that's the ordering here. I'm going to be interested to see, and we've got some great ideas here as well for the fantasy files, specifically this one. This one, I think, specifically will make for a great potential KK Fantasy Files episodes. A lot of people don't watch the live stream playback, so they're not going to even be aware I made this. So when that Fantasy File episodes happen, it's going to be new to people. I think they're really going to like it. But yeah, that's all I have. I don't know. The e-commerce store. Sweet. I'm not sure what that is. The e-commerce store I'm working on with the merchandise and everything, that'll be coming soon. I'm working on an updated version of both Complete Exhaustion and Guns Blazing, with some kind of cool upgrades in them. And I'm working on getting those out. Once those are done, I'm going to launch the new store. For right now, you can still buy everything on Wink. We'll have the merchandise. It's pretty much all completely built out. It's really cool, more professional format. But yeah, that's it for this one. The voting, and again, I have enough film actresses for, I don't know, 4 more of these. I want to say something like that, like 4 more, and then enough TV actresses for at least 5 streams. We've got characters from TV, teen and family dramas. We've got horror movie characters. There's a lot of stuff I have written down. The wrestling, and we could even do something eventually like Bond girls. I do have another type of idea for one. Casting a certain character who should have played a certain character. And obviously the Dream Damsel aspect is still prevalent because the character should have had a scene. So to recast a certain character with different choices and then kind of create a scene for her is kind of an idea I have for a stream for sure. But yeah, this was an interesting group. Probably, again, the biggest competition that we'll ever have for the top three, anyway. In my opinion, for me personally, those three were like way up on my personal list. Any one of those three could have won top spot, depending on who the competition was. So it's one of those things where they all just kind of landed together. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. It's getting late. I need to eat again. I want to thank you guys for showing up. You know what? Maybe you know what I might do here, because it's the beginning of the month. If you're in this chat, if you're in the chat, and if you want to find the join button for us, the membership button, and you want to click on those three dots on the join button and enable your ability to receive gifts. Let me see here. I think I'm going to give out some memberships. I'm gonna send out, if you want to turn on your membership gift settings to receive these, I'm gonna send 5 of them out right now, just because I'm feeling like a nice guy. Here they come. See if I know any of these people. I don't know any of these people. Gifted 5 crime scene memberships. The people who receive them, one of them, I believe those are characters not in English. We have yeah, I don't want to announce people's names in case they don't want their names announced out loud. But we got Andy here. Looks like Miguel, Erica, and Monsetter. We got those people receiving. Congratulations on them and receiving their free memberships. They now got some additional members only videos, and because you have your membership, you can now buy the live action content if you're looking to do that. But yeah, that's there's our number one. My number one. Oh, excuse me. Need some water. That's my number one. Just because like it could have happened, right? Alicia Silverstone, 1997, Batgirl, it could have happened for sure, but it didn't. And because of that, I don't know. Well, I think that's about all. I've got, we got the tournament will start soon. We'll be doing the new updated voting. I want to thank Action Common Corey for coming out and participating. Not a lot of other participants in the chat. Mario, thank you. Jamie Theory showed up as well. Normally we got a few more people. Maybe Thursday evenings aren't good. We were robbed. Team Shoe was robbed. Well, you get your chance to vote in the tournament, and who knows? She might win. I'm very interested to see how the voting will go for this, for sure. Because Fox, Megan Fox, duh. Yeah, I mentioned her that she would have been in this. That's my bad. And thanks for the 50 months of membership, sir. Yeah, that's the voting will be interesting, and the results will probably be even more interesting, because I wasn't surprised with Beckinsale and Hathaway making it to the finals. I was a little surprised on how that voting turned at the end. Maybe having the new using pollmaker.com will fix that issue, but yeah, I don't know. I would make a prediction that one of those three is going to win. I think it's really hard to believe that Alicia Silverstone, Rachel McAdams, or Elizabeth Shue is not going to ultimately win this next tournament of voting. If that doesn't happen, I would be very shocked if somebody else won. That being said, I got to eat. We're about to hit 2 hours even. I'm going to stop it just shy of the 2 hour mark. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate your patience and sticking around in this. And maybe next time we'll move a little quicker. Have a good night.